So, Bobby Taran, let me see if I got this straight. You're in a new show, and Taran, I believe you play the father of the family that is auditioning, and Bobby, you are the manager. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Oh no, I'm sorry.
That that is correct. That
Yep,
is
I got
100% accurate.
I got the aristocrats messed up there.
Oh,
Got
so
it.
yeah.
Yes,
Right.
I play the sneaky butler.
Always, always.
Somebody's got to mop up that mess, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Actually, you're playing Fred the Nature Cat, and Bobby, you play Hal on Nature Cat. We'll talk about that for a little bit if we can. I just watched a couple episodes of it, and I loved it. My kids are a little older past that demographic, but had that been around maybe 5 years ago, I'm sure that would have been all over my house. So, in your words, Taran, can you? I read the description, but can I hear it in your words a little bit?
Yeah, absolutely. Nature Cat is a show about a group of pets who are best friends who kind of come to life when their humans are away, and they're obsessed and dedicated to all things nature. So it's about focusing on outdoor play and educating the audience in a fun, unassuming way about this beautiful world that's in our own backyard.
24. So, did you have any idea? I'm sure you're happy about it, but did you have any idea that it would last this long, 4 seasons?
I always knew from day one. I
He
believe
did. He got a tattoo. The second he booked the pilot, he got a tattoo.
huge. It says we're gonna do great, and then not so great for a little bit, and then we'll do great again.
Yeah.
But we're back.
It's
Um,
just the past 6 calendar years, and it marks it. He got this right away.
Called
It
it like
marks
a
the air
year.
date of all 4 seasons episodes.
I'm a lucky guy. No, but I really hoped it would because it's fun and I get to do it with all my friends, and it's a super fun show, and the team behind it is just wonderful. Taran just called them in another interview the brothers Rudman, and I will never call them anything but.
What is the demographic for this show? Is it? I think I read. Is it for the city kids that are locked up that don't get out a lot?
Listen, I mean, I think we hope it's for any and everybody because there's a little bit, if you love animals, if you love animation, if you love outdoor play, but they've done such a great job. And I feel like I'm learning as we're recording the episodes because we've covered everything from like desert tortoises to like bat migration. So, I love it because, the spirit of the show is very earnest and very positive, but the brothers Rudman, as they're referred to, are so encouraging. We have this incredible cast, right? Like I'm on the low end of the talent when you've got Kate McKinnon and Kate McCucci and Bobby, and Parnell jumps in from time to time. We had Keenan in the beginning, and some of the guest stars are amazing too. So the brothers Rudman are so encouraging of bringing joy in the comedy of being silly. It's educational, but it's also really silly and fun, and I think that combination, I'm just gonna have that written on my tombstone.
Yeah.
Educational and silly. Here lies Taran Killam. He was educational and silly.
Yeah.
Don't sell yourself
Really?
short. You're a tremendous slouch. Where does the voice of Nature Cat come from? I'm detecting a little bit of my favorite Adam West and maybe a hint of Jebediah Atkinson. Where are you pulling this inspiration from?
You can't help but, right? I say that it's sort of a combination. It's like if Roger Rabbit was doing an Errol Flynn impression. Too specific?
No, it's I'll add it to my notes. Yeah.
I think that yeah. You saw the Venn diagram. No, we played around with a few different things, like even in the trial, like when they're just kind of doing an animatics for kind of a proof of concept. But that's become my assessment in hindsight. It was all subconscious. High energy. I mean, he doesn't say anything with less than like 3 exclamation marks. So I come out of every recording session dripping in sweat, but also a little bit smarter. Thinner and smarter.
Maybe this
which
season
is what it'll say on my tombstone. If you kind of clear the grass away, it'll be down in the bottom line.
Maybe this season you guys can afford an air conditioner for the booth.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I tell him to turn it off.
Right. Bobby, I mentioned my kids
Nature
earlier.
cat suit Taran's in.
Yeah,
One of those gray zip up one. Yeah.
exactly.
I mentioned my kids earlier, always watching We Bare Bears
Oh,
and
yeah.
the DuckTales. So when I was watching these screeners I got, my one son was like, "Hey, that's Louis." So what?
Because I
where are
have
you-
range.
Right. So where are you pulling your inspiration from? It? Do you like maybe stand with one foot forward when you're Louis, stand with your left foot forward when you're Hal?
That's really funny. Weirdly enough, for Louis, I wore a hoodie and I put my hands in my pockets because he's such like that's all he ever did. Like I actually did that because I'm so weird and I move too much. So like for Louis, I had to be like mean and calm. But for Hal, no, Hal is like Taran. Like Taran said, like Hal is like. I just go nuts. I go in my closet, I shut the door, and I go insane for an hour and blast through a ton of episodes. It's more just pure fun. And now that Hal is starting to know that he's on a TV show, it's been super fun to just improvise and play around. They let us improvise so much.
To interact with the fans of the show. Do you ever get to meet some of these little shavers?
More and more, honestly, more and more, it's amazing. I mean, Bobby does a lot more animation than I do, so this is sort of my flagship and my experience with the world. But with the process specifically is the point I'm trying to make of how long it takes, right? Like, I have found it's amazing that season 4 is coming out because it feels like in the last 2 or 3 years it's started to catch on, even though we've been recording the show I think since 2014, something like that, almost like 7 or 8 years. But it's great because I do find that there is seemingly a general demographic of families who are like, I can put this on for my kids and I can feel good about it. You know what I mean? Like I can feel like I'm doing something that is sort of educating, that isn't just like putting on a screen for them to zone out to. So I'm always very flattered and my heart is warmed when I hear that.
Yeah, like I said, I'm just kind of out of that pool myself. My son is 12 years old, so we don't really watch those anymore, but it definitely would have been something that's a good way to put it. Felt good about it, like maybe finally some good parenting going on in this house, right?
Yeah, exactly.
You fellas were both no surprise, you were both on SNL for more than a few seasons.
What?
Kind of couple of standout characters, Drunk Uncle and Jebediah Atkinson
was you
really my favorite. Yeah,
that's where I know you from.
You had to meet cross paths. I wanted to ask you fellas, it's recently become sort of in vogue to assault comedians when you don't agree with their comedy. So have you ever had any experience like that on SNL where somebody came out of the audience and not so much assaulted you, but like got up and let you know they didn't agree?
No, not at SNL. When I was doing improv at UCB, I had a weird thing happen where we were doing an improv scene about that took place in an ice cream store, and then the scene got edited. Like somebody told a joke, the scene got edited, and somebody started a new scene, and as that happened, just a big pint of melted ice cream got launched onto stage. And it opened and kind of splattered everywhere, and we all just kind of looked into the audience, and the person just went, for the ice cream scene. and we all kind of went like, oh, no, okay. And
Thank you.
Cleaned it up and moved on, but nothing like an assault.
Right. How long had that guy been walking around with ice cream waiting for just the perfect moment?
I think it was that. I think he had some ice cream. It was melted, and like he thought it would be funny, but he was like a half a second too late, and it was awful. It was an awful experience.
Yeah, the nice thing about SNL, I think, is like it's so hard to get tickets to the show that by the time you get there, if you have an axe to grind, you've forgotten why.
Yeah.
It's also the seats are on a second level, so it's not like you could, if you wanted to storm the stage, you'd have to fall about 12 feet and possibly break an ankle. So they keep the cast and writers very safe there.
Yeah.
You can't see behind my green screen, but you might. There's a bit of a hint. There's an absolute shrine behind Adam West and Burt Ward, the Batman show, that really set me off on my pulp culture journey. So when you guys were younger, what was it for you guys that I know you're part of Lightning Wolves, which is very inspired by some of the 80s cartoons. So what was it for you guys that set you off when you were younger?
I mean, Batman was huge for me. Batman 66 was huge for me because I think it was Sci-Fi that like bought them and would just like they'd play the Hulk and Batman 66 like just all day long. That was big for me. Ninja Turtles were huge. Voltron for sure. Voltron, He-Man, all the bigs. But it was Tim Burton's Batman in '89. I saw that in the theater when I was 7, and I was like, I know that this is a movie. I know this isn't real life, but they're making everything I've ever loved feel like real life. And if I'm going to dedicate the rest of my life to trying to do stuff like that, because I love this feeling.
Yeah.
That's so crazy. I was going to say the same thing. For me, it was like Kenner Star Wars started it for me. And then like same thing as Taran, all that, like Thundercats and all that stuff. And then that Michael Keaton Batman was nuts. And then Taran, we got to sing with Michael Keaton. Like we got to do a little Batman thing with Michael Keaton together. I remember
think about that a lot.
A
lot.
That was crazy. That was
certainly a highlight. He did Batman stuff with us, and the incredible wardrobe and hair and makeup departments like made us Jack Nicholson and Danny DeVito, Joker, Penguin, respectively. But then we also did Beetlejuice stuff with him too. It was just, there's no actor whose career I covet more or have been a bigger fan of than Michael Keaton's.
Would you say he would? I mean, I imagine they're like children. It's hard to pick one, but out of all the guest stars that you had, would he be right up, like maybe top of the list?
The top 2 for me are like literally he's one of my heroes, and then right up there, maybe it goes neck and neck back and forth, Jim Carrey, who I just copied and mimicked and emulated my entire life. Yeah, those 2 for me, it was just like, oh cool, I'm doing sketches with living gods.
Can we talk about Lightning Wolves a little bit while I got you here?
Yes.
No.
I will.
Okay.
He doesn't want to. I will.
Yeah, we can.
Well, let's talk about that inspiration. I see Voltron, Thundercats, maybe Power Rangers.
Yeah, Power Rangers, Voltron, G.I. Joe, Thundercats, all smashed together. The idea of just those cartoons that were there to teach you life lessons, but were actually there to sell you toys. Mm-hmm. Just love that world and that idea. And just I had done some animated shorts called Lofi, and I wanted to do some more and do some scripted ones, and that world just seemed really fun to do. And Taran said yes, and then his wife said yes, and a bunch of other people, and we made a silly little thing.
It's the best. With every new character design, animatic, physical toy made for some of the live action stuff, like it was just, it's why I was like constantly reminded why Bobby is one of my favorite people in the world, and it's because like we have the exact same passions. We have the exact same interests and passions.
It's really a little more on the nose with the toys, right? Are these action figures available anywhere, or will they be soon?
Yeah, weirdly enough, you can get them right now on Etsy. There's the company that made them at 3D Panda, or at the 3D Panda. They had made some stuff for me in the past, and I contacted them and said, hey, would you mind making me a couple figures? And they went above and beyond and made every single character, and they made the you remember when Kenner released like the first 12 figures with the cardboard background?
Right.
They did that, and like they all come with medallions, and like, they just had a blast. They did they're fans too, and they did an amazing job. Norm and Christina at 3D Panda, they're the best, and get them now.
So we got to order that cardboard background before we can get the figures a couple months later.
Yes, they'll come in, and then they come 56 years later.
Yeah. You have to send in 3,500 UPCs. And
No. We don't need the UPCs. We need you to send in cereal. Bags and bags.
handfuls,
and bags
3,500 handfuls of cereal.
That's great.
Entire
That's great.
set of lightning wolves.
Yeah.
That kind of leads me to my last question as my window is closing here. When I was a young man, I used to have to get up super early on Saturday mornings to beat my brother to the couch to get the good spot in front of the TV. But before that, I would have to get up even earlier to beat my parents into the kitchen to pour myself a big bowl of sugary goodness. So Taran and Bobby, when you were watching Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and Thundercats, what was your favorite bowl of Saturday morning cereal?
Oh, Cinnamon Toast Crunch, easy.
That's a good one. I've had a lot of phases in my life. Like 0 to 5 was probably Honey Nut Cheerios, and then I went pretty hard into Lucky Charms. I had I lost a lot of friends during my Lucky Charms phase. But then Apple Jacks, interestingly enough, became kind of a favorite. You know, you got to grow up sometime.
Right. That's a very mature cereal, Taran.
It is.
It is. Yeah. You don't hear a lot about Apple Jacks in these.
Apple Jacks is the Burger King to McDonald's, to the Fruit Loops of McDonald's.
Yeah, 100. That's a perfect analogy.
Right on. I'm pretty sure that's my time. I got Nature Cat, Lightning Wolves. Anything else we can put out there for you as I'm running out the door?
Mr. Mayer's on NBC.
Mr.
Mr. Mayer on NBC Tuesday nights at 8:30.
Groovy.
Yeah.
Well, thanks so much for your time, fellas. Do me a favor. Have a great rest of your day, and I will see you on the other side. Okay.
You do the same.
Thanks, Jim.
Pleasure.
Thanks.